So it's time for doing what I do best, debunking people. So my entire channel is based on exposing the corruption of all of modern civilization. And occasionally I actually hear people saying like, "Oh, we're currently living in the greatest time in history." And I just look at these people like, "Okay, are you really that stupid? Do you really believe that?" I mean, I can't help but feel at least some of these people are saying this as like a self-defense mechanism. I actually have friends who say this kind of thing, and for them, I know it's a self-defense mechanism. But for people in general, I think it's usually self-defense, or they're just so wound up in their own little world they don't see how bad it is out in the real world because they're the kind of people who live within their own bubble, basically, right? But you hear people saying things like this, and the reason why I think it's a self defense mechanism a lot of the time is because, I mean, most people know who focus on it like me. Even I know that there's no going back, there's no changing this, right? So it makes complaining like I always do kind of pointless because there's nothing I can really do about it. I can point it out, I can expose it, I can show the truth, but I can't actually fix it. So their mentality is, well, if I can't fix it, why focus on it? Why don't I just move on and live my life? And those people, I actually agree with you. In fact, I think you're doing something smarter than I am. Because all I'm doing is making myself miserable by focusing on this shit and all that, knowing I can't fix it. It's like, it's hopeless, right? But to me, it's more important to at least expose these things and teach them than it is to just ignore them. But I know it's bad for me in like mentality and like health wise because of stress and stuff, but it's better in other ways, and I focus more on those. But that's just me, right? I don't get at people for focusing on just their little bubble of a life because that's what makes them happy, and that's a self-defense thing. I don't mind those people, but I just wish that they weren't in denial, that's all. But regardless, I also hear a lot of people who actually believe that we currently live in the best time in history, and we're just simply going to debunk that. Now, I've done this in other videos before, like, my old versus new rant, where I talked about the comparison and, like, how technology now is shit. Right now, we're at the lowest point for technology, and people think we're at the highest point, which is hilarious. I made that video about Apple, talking about how they haven't really made any new technological advancements in years that are actually beneficial. All they do is worthless shit. Check out my video about Apple products. You can check all that kind of stuff out. And I've done lots of videos like that where I compare the past to the present and all that. But here is just a list of things in our society that are currently at their lowest point. And I wrote this down actually a while ago. I said SJWs run and destroy society. As we know, SJWs, despite only making up 19% of the population, in either if they are SJW or people who agree with them. But the thing is, even though 81% of people disagree with these morons, doesn't change the fact that they have the loudest voice because they're supported by things like Hollywood and the mainstream media. So, of course, the minority is the one that runs everything, but they are running and destroying society. We have the most corrupt media we've ever had. Yes, the media is finally being, shown their own medicine, so to speak. People are now kind of realizing how corrupt they are now more than ever. Got things like Project Veritas always exposing them. But it doesn't change the fact that they themselves are at their lowest point ever. We've had no substantial technological advancements in years, despite what people think for some reason. The internet that people could use to expand our understanding of everything, but instead the internet has been used to make people dumber than ever and information harder to find due to fake news, manipulation, and censorship, memes, etc. We also live in the feelings over facts age, despite the fact that it's fucking 2019. We live in an age where facts are actually at their lowest point and feelings are at their highest. And this is also despite our supposed technology that can teach us everything. More murders and mass shootings than ever. Destroy the economy. Our economy is also at its lowest point. I know these things are obviously different based on what country you live in, but for Canada specifically, the economy is at the lowest it's ever been. Homelessness rates are higher than ever. Inflation is the highest it's ever been in existence. Cost of living has increased at least 70% over the speed of minimum wage increase, which means more people are making less now than ever. Buying an affordable home has become impossible for most people, especially millennials. Most people now just rent their whole lives because nobody can afford anything. Even rent is becoming almost unaffordable these days. Technology literally taking over jobs. Now we are starting to grow in this robot AI age where we actually have robots doing jobs for us now, which means that most people are going to become unemployed and homeless. People's obsession over phones has completely destroyed our humanity and human connection. I have a really great video called Communication versus Connection. You should check out for that. We have SJWs have created a new scary wave of racism. Feminism has ruined equality and men as a whole. Men are way more oppressed than women are. Check out my video on that as well. Hollywood is now more corrupt than ever. Movies are just garbage and are always SJW pandering. And the list goes on and on and on. Modern day is all about smokescreen and making everything appear advanced or better, but reality shows the total opposite. And that's the honest to God truth about our reality right now, is that we are currently living in the worst time, but because things look all pretty, people deny it. And when it comes to technological advancements specifically, I want to discuss that because we actually have people in this society who genuinely believe that technology is at its highest point. And despite what I said in videos like my Apple video, my old versus new, what I just said now, we also need to point out that it is 2019 and there has not been any big technological advancements in several years. And all the ones that appear special are really just useless shit. In fact, I'm going to show you a couple of articles right now. To all of you people out there who think that we are living in the great 2019 technologically advanced age where everything breaks in 2 months, please tell me if when you were a kid, this is what you were hoping to see in 2019. Nike's new shoes have laces you can control with Siri. That's right, you can actually use your phone to tie and untie your fucking shoes. What an age we live in. How about this one here? Happy Fork is a smart fork for your dumb mouth. This is an actual fork that connects to your phone that reminds you how and when to eat. How about this one here I saved? This is a fucking coffee mug that self-heats and lets you know when the coffee or tea is ready to be drank and its temperature. And of course, it connects to your stupid fucking phone. How about this one? This is a fucking smart water bottle that actually tracks how much water you've drank and how much water you need to drink. Let me tell you two big things about products like this. Now, this is only 4 examples, but there are many other products that are like just stupid regular things, like a water bottle that can now connect to your fucking phone. Like, for example, there was this other one, I don't have it listed here, but there was this other one where it's like this big giant machine that you put a bag of juice inside it, the door closes, you press a button, connect it to your phone of course, and the machine compresses the bag and the juice comes out and fills up a glass. And it's like, why don't you just use your hands to press the bag and have the juice come out of it? But no, people are so stupid, we need to have a machine doing that. Or all these other things like having your phone turn your car on, or your phone to lock your car, or your phone to pay, and all these very mundane things that you don't need a fucking phone or any technology for in general, but we've now let this take over our lives. Not only is it absolutely worthless and stupid to any sane person, but the biggest thing is what it's doing to people. It's making people stupid and lazy. If you actually need a water bottle or a coffee mug or a fucking self-lacing shoe, by the way, I know that it's actually a reference from Back to the Future, and back then it was cool, but it's a little bit different now when you think about it. But the point is, even the more simple things like this fucking water bottle, if you actually need something like this, you are incredibly fucking stupid and useless. How fucking lazy or incapable are you that you can't track your fucking water intake, or eat with a fork properly, or tie your own shoes, or or check the temperature of your tea or coffee, or open up a bag of fucking juice? Technological things like this show the decline of our society. It's 2019. This is what you people actually think a technological advancement is. If that doesn't indicate to you, along with everything else I've said, that we are living in the worst time in history, then you are stupid.